Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of shortcuts that are going to make doing the CSS a little bit easier. So you're going to have to create a HTML document, shockingly, first, even though you don't necessarily have to. And I'm going to show you why. So I'm just going to call this one Year 11. This we know is our typical HTML document. I've got it on split view. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to just come up with those meta tags that we were working with in the last question paper. So it will obviously require you to copy and paste these into a CSS document. But if you go to Insert, HTML, you've got some of them here. So these are the keywords that I would have for it. So let's just say revision, GCSE, Cambridge. It's created the tag. So I could just right click, cut that, and then I could paste it into my CSS document. The same thing here, title is already here, and you've got the other options here for some of them. So you've got meta keywords, description, viewport. These are the ones that you are aware of, and this meta one allows you to create any of the meta tags. So for example, this one would be description. It's now meta name description, and then you put the description of the web page, and again you're just cutting and pasting that into your CSS document. Now the other one that I wanted to show you was if you really forget like all of the CSS, or you just want it to be a little bit easier, there is a trick. So if you go into CSS Designer and you're in your HTML document, you want to click on sources and you want to create a new CSS file. Then you have to browse and go and find where you're saving your work for your exam. And then you need to give the style sheet the name as required in the exam question paper. Or if they don't give you a name, then you just come up with a suitable name. So I'm just going to call this Year 11 style and then .css. And then I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to press OK. And what you'll see is that in the HTML document, it's already created the link to the style sheet, but the style sheet's here and it now appears over here. So I can click here and I can start doing some formatting in this style sheet. Remember, these shortcuts that I'm showing you will only work if you're doing this within a HTML document, okay? So if the question doesn't require you to have a HTML document, you'll need to create one in order for these shortcuts to work. So I'm going to go CSS Designer. And then now I'm like, oh, I need to add some stuff in. So what you need to do is, if you know the part of the web page that you want to put the format in. So if, for example, it's the body or if it's a heading, you can just type that in. So for example, H1, and then put your curly brackets and leave it like that. And then come back to the CSS Designer and you can see H1 is here. And then if you click on this, it brings you to this extra section here. You need to make sure this is stretched out completely so you can see it. When you initially see it, it might look blank, so you just need to make sure this is unticked. And then down here, if they told you only H1 needs to be a certain color, so if they said, oh, it needs to be red, you can go in and change the color. Oh, they've given you the color. If they said the font needed to be a specific font family or a specific font, you could go in and do that. And if that was the correct one, great, leave it. If not, and it was only this or something else, you could go in and edit it because you'll understand it a little bit more. And then again, back into CSS Designer, clicking on H1, scrolling down. Oh, they also said it must be aligned in the center. They also said that the font size must be a specific size. So for example, if they said it has to be font size 15, it's by point. And you just change the 0 to 15. And that just makes it a little bit easier in terms of editing. If you knew that it had to be for H1, H2, H3, you could equally do that. Like, it's not a problem. You can go in and edit afterwards. So I hope this little shortcut helps you. And have a look at the website. I've also linked in with a post to help you.